Well, hi everybody, I'm Bill Whittle and this is The Firewall. You know, like many kids my age, I grew up with Mary Poppins and that proper picture of England and Englishness, the well-mannered, prudent, kind-hearted nanny teaching discipline and manners in the heart of London. Now, this last week, of course, we've seen rioters in the streets of London protesting modest cuts to the nanny state by throwing traffic signs through the windows of banks and luxury shops in order to get back at the people hoarding all of the money, namely the rich. In Wisconsin, of course, we saw the same thing, mobs disrupting the legislative process because they didn't like the outcome, and state senators walking out not only on their jobs but also on their oaths because they were going to lose a vote critical to their liege lords and masters, the members of the public employees unions. They know which side their bread is buttered on. Now, speaking of heartless multimillionaires, the mendacious Michigan manatee of malevolence, Michael Moore himself, appeared on the steps of the state capitol in Madison and said this.
America is not broke. Not by a long shot. The country is awash in wealth and cash. It's just that it's not in your hands. It has been transferred in the greatest heist in history from the workers and consumers to the banks and the portfolios of the uber-rich.
Look, put aside the hypocrisy of a multimillionaire who made his millions attacking capitalism, a man known to hire the cheapest non-union labor available and treat them as badly as anyone in the business. Put all 450 pounds of that oleaginous, quivering hypocrisy off to one side, or at least as far from the center as it'll fit, and ask yourself if Michael Moore is correct. Are we, in fact, broke as a nation? Or is there a national resource, namely the wealthy, that have locked up all the money? Well, many of us on the right know that the left only wins when they can find one isolated sob story and sell that. Statistics, that is to say data, that is to say evidence, is usually fatal to the liberal worldview. And noted gearhead, hot rodder, statistical expert, and super genius, that'd be my friend Iowahawk, took a few minutes out of a busy day of gapping spark plugs and did some basic research and tried to figure out how to actually pay for the $3.7 trillion that Barack Obama and the Congress plan to spend in 2011. That's $10 billion a day, folks. Now, witness the firepower of this fully armed and operational Iowahawk. We've got a year to pay for. Let's start at 12:01 a.m. January 1st. Look, the only thing more evil than a rich person in the eyes of leftists is a rich corporation. Let's take the two most evil of them all, ExxonMobil and Walmart. Forget high taxes. Let's just take every penny of their combined 2010 global profits. That's $34 billion. Spending all of their money gets us from midnight on January 1st until 9:52 a.m. on January 4th. Okay, not as impressive as we hoped. So now let's take every single penny of profit, every penny from the other 498 fat cat companies on the Fortune 500, all of it. That's $357 billion. That gets us to 2 a.m. on February 9th. Okay, look, we've taken every dime of profit from the big companies and it's only Super Bowl time, so why don't we grab the obscene corporate advertising? That's $250 million, which will run the country for 36 minutes, but why stop there? Let's take all of the ad money on all 45 Super Bowls. That's $5 billion. That gets us to 2 p.m. on the same day, February 9th. Look, it's obvious that we can't do this just on the backs of corporations, so if we're going to soak the rich, let's start with the obscene sports salaries. Let's take all of the salaries from the NFL, the NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, not their endorsement deals, just their salaries. Throw in all of the winnings on the PGA Tour and the money spent with those redneck, knuckle-dragging NASCAR fans as well. That's $9.4 billion, which gets us to 1 p.m. on the next day, February 10th. Okay, look, forget athletes. I mean, take all their money, but it's obviously not enough. Let's get to the rich. Let's take 100% of every penny that anyone makes above $250,000. I can hardly wait. Let's see. The number of U.S. households is 116 million. The percentage of households above 250K in income, I think that's 1.93%. So the number of households above 250K of income is 2,238,800 households. The total income of those households in excess of $250,000 is $1.412 trillion. Now we're talking. Let's eat the rich. Let's take everything everyone makes in America above $250,000, which gets us from February 10th all the way to, oh, damn it, 6 p.m. on July 2nd. Well, look, obviously, we're going to have to cut some spending. I know. Why don't we just stop paying for the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan? That's where the money for healthcare goes after all, right? Into wars for oil? Not another dime for them. Let's just bring them all home right now. That would save us $105 billion in Afghanistan and $159 billion in Iraq for a total of $264 billion. That's enough savings to cover us until 4 p.m. on July 29th. Hey, that's blockbuster season. We need the money, so screw you, Star Wars. We're going to take every penny in movies, toys, lunchboxes, etc., the whole shebang, $25 billion. That'll knock us all the way down to 4 p.m. on August 1st. Look, God knows that Hollywood has been good to the left, but they're no longer useful idiots. They're just idiots now. So let's evict everyone in Beverly Hills and sell their homes at current market value. 15,000 homes at $2 million per gets us another $30 billion, paying the bills through 4 p.m. on August 4th. Now, this isn't working. Michael Moore assured us that there's plenty of money out there and that it's all tied up in the rich. So, guess what? Liberal billionaires, Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, tough luck for you. $100 billion between you, they accidentally fall down the stairs at a public sector union rally, let's say. And through the inheritance tax, we keep 50% of their loot. That's another $50 billion. That gets us all the way to 4 p.m. on August 9th. All right, look. Let's get serious here. There are 398 more billionaires in America, according to the latest Forbes 400, with a combined total net worth of $1.29 trillion. A few hundred more accidents, let's say, at 50% death tax, kill them all, and take their estate tax. That's another $650 billion. That ain't hay. That gets us to 4 p.m. on October 13th. Still not there. All right, look. Let's forget this namby-pamby 50% nonsense. Kill all the billionaires and take all of their money, all of it. Take everything. And take everything from the next 100 or so of the almost billionaires, too. That gets us another 73 days until, hey, 4 p.m. on December 25th. Christmas, everybody. Almost there. See how easy this is? Now remember, this money is for America's poor, so in the spirit of Christmas, let's get rid of all that foreign aid. That saves us $50 billion, getting us to 4 p.m. on December 30th. So near and yet so far. We've still got a day and change to pay for. To cover the remaining $12.5 billion, we're unfortunately going to have to hit every single man, woman, and child in America for $40 each to pay for that final 32 hours, which gets us to 12 a.m., January 1st, 2012. Happy New Year, everybody. And what happens next? You see, we've taken all of the profits, all of the salaries, all of the assets, all of the expenses and revenues and holdings of the rich, and we've liquidated them. President Obama, meanwhile, is proposing we spend another $3.6 trillion in 2012. 1,000 billion of that is more than we take in. And that assumes $2.6 trillion in revenues, but revenues from what? We've destroyed the private capital. We've destroyed advertising revenues. We've destroyed professional sports. We've taken every penny that people have to put into new businesses to pay for things. It's all gone. We ate the rich. We ate everything they had. And we scraped through for 1 year. Now what? My friends, if you want to read the sharpest pen on the internet today, go and be amazed and amused, and deeply humbled at the raw, ramshackle genius we found at iowahawk.typepad.com. And if you think messages like these are important, well, it's up to you to keep them coming. Go to declarationentertainment.com and become a citizen producer today. I'm Bill Whittle, and we'll see you next time on The Firewall.